All right, I'm scared. I'm scared about the direction in which we're headed. Let me welcome from trendsresearch.com, great prognosticator of where things like this health care bill and other rampant government misdoings, where it's going to lead us as a nation. Gerald Celente joins us here on News Talk 97.3 Cairo FM. Hey, Gerald, great to talk to you again.
Hey, Dori, thanks for having me back.
Man, I tell you, I had one of the Democratic fence-sitting congressmen, Adam Smith, on in the 1 o'clock hour, and he says that he's now a yes vote, and it looks like momentum's building for this health care reform bill. Where do you think this is leading us?
Oh, it's going to work perfectly, just like everything else.
Yeah, that's right.
Great job they've done with education, huh? I remember back in the Reagan years, they came out with a big nation at risk study, and they hired a education czar.
Yeah.
And he didn't fix it, so they made him a drug czar. Oh, the drug war. Oh, they're doing a great job with that one. Oh, and then there's the two wars that they're fighting. Always the same story, more men, more money, more time. They have Katrina quality rescue skills. What do they do that they ever do properly? If anybody in real life messed up as badly as they did, as frequently, they'd be drummed out of business.
Sure.
And, of course, this healthcare thing is just going to be another money pit, and it's bigger than that when you look at it. It looks like, it's a healthcare program and there's positive elements to it. What it is the government is getting into more and more business, and people think, this is becoming socialism. It's not socialism. Socialism is egalitarianism. The merger of state and corporate powers, according to Mussolini, is called fascism. Now, all of a sudden, we went from the greatest capitalistic country in the world to one where now you have too big to fail companies and we own a big chunk of them. And it's the same thing with healthcare. It's just another piece of the action. Whether it's the housing market, which FHA is giving 90% of the mortgages and backed by Fannie and Freddie, again, two government-owned companies, or whether it's the wars, the military business, whether it's the education business. You name the business, they have a piece of the action.
Well,
that's all this is about.
It's funny that you quote Mussolini, because I did the same thing an hour ago on my show. Government has a role in elements that do not have a profit motive. I mean, government is necessary for our common defense. It's necessary for roads, for infrastructure, things that have no profit motive. When government gets involved in something that is a competitive enterprise, I cannot cite, and I don't believe anybody can cite, one instance where it has gotten better once government has gotten involved.
Exactly. And again, you look across the board. It's laden with failures. We've narrowed this down to what's going on in the United States to 6 simple words. Princeton, Harvard, Yale, bullets, banks, and bombs. They're in the business of everything. And when you look at the people around them, whether it's the White House, whether it's Wall Street, it's the same gang running the same show. And people really should wake up to it, because they're making it seem as though, we're helping you out, when they're helping themselves to all of the money out there and all of the control. I'm a political atheist. I mean, I could go on about every one of them in my lifetime, with the exception probably of Eisenhower, who I rate, as a real man in standing up for what he believed, and a guy that really was a commander-in-chief as the supreme commander of the Allied forces and 5-star general. Not like these swivel chair guys.
Well, and I'm the same way. When Bush and the Republicans had total control of the federal government, they exploded the deficit. The prescription drug benefit was something that has become a gigantic entitlement drag. So the Republicans certainly are not free of blame. And so where are we going? Because I know you called the Tea Party movement. You foresaw that. Where are we going when the people feel like the government and the two major parties have gotten so completely out of touch with our values and our vision of what this country should be?
The Tea Party, when we called it we called tax revolts in 2007 that they would begin. We said that when Bush was president.
Yeah.
and we call it the coalition of the cash-strapped. And it's going to continue to escalate. Right now it's being hijacked by, a few people and turning it into a right-wing movement. It's really not. It's much broader than that. And we see in 2012 the emergence of a third-party movement. And for lack of a better term, or what we can really pinpoint it as, we believe there's going to be something like an internet candidate, somebody with a platform and principles, not a performer on the presidential reality show stage.
Right.
It'll be less about personality and more about the common good. And the nation is ready for it. We're not gloom and doomers here, although we're forecasting some very difficult economic times ahead. We're only in about the third inning of the greatest recession, which is going to turn into what we believe the greatest depression. So people are going to be desperate for change, real change, and the people have to be a part of it. And that's the big difference with the internet candidate.
But how, Gerald, is that going to manifest itself when, as you've stated, when government and corporate America have coalesced into this, absurd power bond? Even with the power of information via the internet, how could somebody break through such a powerful alliance between government and corporations?
If we were talking 3 years ago about a Tea Party movement, no one would have believed it. These things start from the bottom up, and that's the way it has to change. Every individual has to have courage. They have to have passion in what they believe in, the respect of themselves, to feel that they can do it, and to bring back their dignity. And that really means getting in shape in a lot of ways, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and finding out and learning about what's going on.
Yeah, but do enough people have that resolved?
I believe about 20% of the people do.
Well, but is that enough? Because we've got a lot of people who are being told on a daily basis, you need the government to pay your mortgage, to put gas in your car, to provide your health care. And we are starting to fall into the complacency of a country that I think could fail.
It can fail and is failing, but it's not doomed to fail. And that's what the people need. The people that care need to know that what they do and how they act and what they buy and where they shop and where they put their money makes a difference. One of my mantras is not made in China. I don't buy anything I can made in China. But everything I buy, food, I buy locally. There's a story in Martha Stewart's magazine this month about a butcher shop, Fleischer's, this great organic butcher. They're right around the corner from us over here in Kingston, New York.
Mm-hmm.
I've come up with something. I was thinking, if everybody bought a candle, one candle a day, and lit it, and said a prayer and made a wish and offered it up to all those they love, past and present, and bought that candle from a local candlestick maker, it would begin to make a difference. Just like with Gandhi, what he did is he employed the people to weave their own clothes, break the shackles of the British Empire, and he brought them down. We bring manufacturing, we bring local, we bring mom-and-pop businesses back. This country goes in a different direction. It's not a fait accompli that, we have to be ruled by the too big.
But you think with your, and we've only got about 30 seconds here, you think with your forecasting that you're doing that we're going to have to hit much more of a bottom than where we are right now for people to start to coalesce that resolve?
It's happening, yes. One of my sayings, you may have heard it before, is a Bronx guy. When people lose everything and they have nothing left to lose, they lose it. People are angry. We could turn this anger into a positive element of change, an intellectual revolution based upon actions and deeds, not violence or resignation.
Amen. All right. Hey, Gerald, I always love talking to you. Gerald, you can check out his website. It's trendsresearch.com. He also publishes the Trends Journal, which has just a great record of forecasting. And I hope you're right about this third-party candidate, Gerald. That'd be music to my ears.
Well, you play the instrument, the music will happen.
Amen, brother. All right, Gerald, great talking to you again.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Gerald Celente, trendsresearch.com. Check him out. Get back to your calls and today's sign that the end is near coming up next.